People struggle to do things alone. And the path of the exceptional person is one of an exception, which means that you are not with other people.
There's people that are willing to go very far, and then there's people that are willing to go far further than that.
You have to believe in yourself and have to know that it's only one you.
But before you can ever reach anything, you have to believe it.
The only thing that changes your fucking DNA is discipline. Discipline is the only thing that changes your DNA, man.
I don't tell people that they're okay the way they are. No, I say, no, you could be way more than you are.
You're either going to do the work or you're going to sit around wishing you'd done the work. The last chapter of our life story is already written, right? We die. And so you might as well fill the rest with epic stories of daring greatly and doing what you've always wanted to do until that day comes. Because we only really regret the things we never try.
It will all be over soon. It may be the dark, it may be the light, but one day you'll wake up and realize it's over. Don't just wait for it to be over. Embrace it, let it shape you. When the sun fades or the storm ends, be grateful. For the pain, for the blessing, for the growth. Keep going.
The greats do things when they don't always want to. And I think that's what separates good from great.
So if you're in the woods and you don't know where to go, start walking. You got to start walking because the perspective's not going to change. You have to start moving forward. You have to start taking steps in order to improve your vision, improve your perspective, change your perspective, make some kind of progress. And worst case scenario, you figure out that you walked the wrong direction. Okay, now you can go walk in the other direction. And that's going to be fine. But standing there lost and not doing anything is just waiting to die, waiting to starve to death. Don't let that happen.
Just sitting around dreaming someday, someday I'm gonna get a different job. Someday I'm gonna change this. Well, someday ain't a day of the week. You gotta say, okay, I'm gonna take this small step by here, this small step by there, this small step by there, and then pretty soon, we don't leap tall buildings in a single bound. We take it a floor at a time.
I really thought I lost you there for a minute, bro. You started tapping back into old habits, hanging out with people you know you shouldn't be. You became somebody you weren't. But I'm glad to know you're back. You're back on your grind. You're back doing the things that you know are gonna take you to where you want to be in this life. Because you don't want to be like everybody else. There's too many of them, dog. There's not enough of us. There's not enough men out there that are willing to sacrifice the temptation, the lust, the fun, the parties to truly be somebody in this life. But you got that shit in you. Don't give that up. Don't throw that shit away for a moment of fun, for something that won't last. The man that says he can and the man that says he can't are both right. You choose which side of right you want to be on. I know which side I want to be on.
To live the good way, you have to live the hard way for a while. Time and hustle and failure and getting kicked in the teeth and what you do in the invisible when you think you're going to lose out. I don't know if this one's going to work out. I over leveraged myself. What if it doesn't happen? I put all my money in this thing. This deal went sideways. Interest rates went up. The economy shifted. Like, you need all of that to season a man or a woman that can actually handle that level of success. You have to pay your success tax. It's as simple as that. There's no fast path. The fact of the matter is, if you're just kind of dabbling and you want the success, let me just say it right to the point. It will never find you, ever. Success will not come looking for you. You got to keep persisting until you succeed.
Every single one of you out there have the superpowers necessary for greatness. But until you're backed into a corner like an injured, hungry, thirsty dog, you don't really realize how much you have in you. That is something that no test can measure.
There's only a certain window of opportunity for success. This is your opportunity of a lifetime. Take the 5%. Go the 5% distance. It's gonna be scary as all head. It will drive you to the ground. You'll fail a few times. You'll fall on your face. Get up, keep getting up, keep getting up. If you don't, you have to be happy for the rest of your life. If you don't take the last 5%, you have to be happy the rest of your life knowing it went to somebody else's door and knocked on their door, and you could have been that guy. It's up to you.
We all live in this world where our brains are keeping us in this box. Outside that box, on the other edge of suffering, is a world that's endless of opportunity. But we are afraid to go outside that box because in that box it's comfortable. Outside that box, man, God gives you a shovel. And he says, man, start digging. That's not fun. But when you dig your own path to all kind of stuff that's unknown.
How many day ones have you had? How many before pictures have you taken? How many times have you been so convinced that now things are going to change? The fact is, there is no difference between the day ones and the days where you didn't even really care about changing. Because while your intention may have been different, your actions were exactly the same. Your intention means nothing. Wanting to change means nothing. Taking a before picture does not move you closer to the after picture. I've got 100 before pictures in my camera roll too, but it wasn't until I put the camera down and stopped taking those pictures and focused on doing the work that I actually got closer to the after. Only by doing the work can you go from before to after. Only by doing the work can you go from day one to day two. You can have all the intention in the world. You can want it better than anyone else in the world, but what do your actions say? Look at how you spend your time and you will see exactly why you have the result you have.
We are in control of our momentum. If you are in a terrible place right now, if your life sucks right now, and you're waiting around for things to get better, that's not what you should be doing. That's not how it works. You need to take action. You need to control what you can control. You need to execute on those in a positive manner and then continue to do that even when things get good. And that's the key to avoiding these ups and downs. You have to continue to get better. You have to continue to come with urgency. You have to continue to control what it is that you can't control.
Turn your emotions into effort, not excuses. Your emotions transform into one of two things, effort or excuses. Choose effort always. No matter how your emotions are at the moment, choose to do while you feel them. Use your work to work through them. You must exert more effort than you emote or excuse.
I said to myself at one point, okay, I'm gonna do it or die. That's it. I'll starve to death if necessary, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna stick with this job. Don't give up. Do not give up. Sometimes things always look darkest just before the dawn.
Who says you couldn't revolutionize the whole thing in a week's time and start a brand new direction that will most assuredly help you arrive in a brand new place a year from now, 3 years from now, no telling 5 years from now, where you could arrive. Use your willpower to start the process. Just willpower to change a little or change a lot. Anybody can change. You don't have to repeat last year. Clean up the errors. Invest it now in the next year. Watch it make the difference.
It can be done.
Yeah.
People have done it. Like
Yeah.
you gotta, but you have to be willing to just really and throw yourself into something and know that, especially in the beginning, there's no time to f off here. If you really want to do something that's really hard to do, like, you got to be all in.
Yeah.
Because there's too many people that are all in.
Yeah.
And you're competing with them.
Yeah.
You're not competing with these like half-steppers, these people that are kind of dipping in and dipping out.
Yeah.
They're there as an example for you to not live your life.
No one is going to beat you at being you. Find what feels like play to you, but looks like work to others. So it looks like work to them, but to you it feels like play. It's not work. So you're going to outcompete them because you're doing it effortlessly. You're doing it for fun. They're doing it for work. They're doing it for some byproduct. To you, it's art, it's beauty, it's joy, it's flow. It's fulfilling.
If you push people and ask them what they want, they're going to tell you that they want to be happy. But nobody really talks that next step, which is what is the fundamental building block to happiness? Like, what is that keystone piece? The one without which everything falls apart. And I really believe, and I believe this through experience myself and seeing other people, that that keystone brick to happiness is progress.
In our evolutionary psychology, we have this fear, I'll die if you don't like me. And we try to get over it by buying stuff or trying to impress people. And what you should do is impress upon your mind, look, I know you think I'm going to die from rejection. I'm not. Actually, it's going to make me stronger. And if you can dialogue with yourself and go, I feel a bit sad, it's not going to kill me, then it does make you stronger.
Take a bit of a look at yourself and think about what's not so good that you could improve, that you should improve by your own standards, and that you would improve. There's things you could do to improve, and you know what they are. And there's small steps that you could take, that you might take, that would put you in that direction. And then the question is, are you big enough to take those small steps? You know, and the answer to that is, yeah, you are. Most people have things they avoid, you know, and they're afraid of. So I would say to some degree, it's the lot of everyone.
Your life is a physical manifestation of the conversation going on in your head. Your life is a physical manifestation of the conversation going on in your head. So if you said nothing but thought everything, your life is going to show up to make your thoughts true. So you have one job. You have one job in your life for you, to make what you think about life true, so that you're not wrong. You don't want to walk around wrong, 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 wrong. You want to be right about the life you see. So you're going to work hard to produce the life that you talk about in your mind.
Our standards are a reflection of the actions that we take or fail to take. And a lot of times, the actions that we take that, move our life forward are a result of us feeling good enough to do that. We're not always going to feel great, but honestly, like, in order to get yourself up and get yourself moving, like, you're not just going to get up and you can feel good, man. You have to take action. It's a process through your physical fitness, through your mental fitness, through your contribution.
If you want to be successful, and it really doesn't matter how you define success, it really doesn't matter what the specific manifestations of success are for you. If you want to be successful, it all starts with a growth mindset. Right now, in this moment, if you do one thing, it will change every aspect of the rest of your life. And that is to adopt a growth mindset.
Doesn't matter how talented you are, if you don't have self-belief, you're not going to get anywhere. If you have extraordinary self-belief, very little talent, you can get everywhere. But if you have both, if you have talent and belief, it will actually make you unstoppable.
They say, if at first you fail, then try again. Persistence is helpful because it enables you to run many experiments. And you need to know that the baseline is failure. It's important because otherwise you'll blame that on yourself.
When you speak your future into the world. Whatever falls off your tongue, when you say I am, unconscious mind says, and you are so. Whatever comes on the other side of that.
That all of us in life have things we want. We don't get what we want. We get what we have to have. Remember I said earlier, we all get what we tolerate in ourselves and other people. But when you're no longer willing to tolerate something, that's when your life changes.
And we can thrive under the difficult conditions that make up our lives, and we can resist the malevolence that entices us. That's within our power.
Asking the right questions is so fundamental and so powerful. I encourage you guys all to really think about the questions that you ask yourself, because it will determine everything about your life. Your life is determined by the quality of your questions.
everyone's good at something. You know, you're not meant to be good at everything. It's no good being a jack of all trades and a master of none. So be really good at what you're good at, and don't worry about what you're not good at, because we're not all supposed to be good at the same thing.
And then you challenge yourself. It's like, well, could I do this? That would be better. And you find out, and then you think, well, is there something slightly larger and more challenging that I could do that would be better? And you try it and you find out. And as you try it and you find out, generally you get better at it and you can take on larger and larger challenges.
You get what you focus on. You get what you focus on. If you focus on fear, dread, incompetence, possible danger, possible failure, then that's where your mind is. Your mind is totally consumed by those thoughts. But if, on the other hand, you think about possibility, what can be, how good you can get, the amazing things that could happen, then that's what your mind is consumed by.
The difference in people is their standards, period. The difference in people is their standards, period. And what do I mean by standards? Everyone in the world has a list of things they think they should do. I should work out, I should work harder, and then you know what? People don't do their shoulds and they get mad at themselves. What changes people is when your should becomes a must.
The person you can control. People are not who you want them to be. Kill your idols. Sure, there are things we can learn from people, but people aren't going to be what you think they are, what they should be. Because you can't control other people. You can't make them what you want them to be. You can't make them who you want them to be. The only person you can control is you. So focus on making yourself who you want to be.
You guys need to understand what you don't have to do. All right? You don't have to work hard, you don't have to eat right, you don't have to sleep right. You don't have to do more than what's required of you. You don't have to be a good teammate. You don't have to be a good leader. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. But you also don't have to win. You don't have to be a success in life. So the greatest things in life take sacrifice and discipline. And that's why so few people achieve great things. Because they don't want to sacrifice, they don't want to discipline for something greater. So you see all these people that have great things in life that you look up to, it's because they were sacrificed and disciplined long before you ever knew them. That's the truth. So don't get mad later when you created your whole storm and then it starts raining on you.
Surround yourself with dreamers and doers, the believers and thinkers. But most of all, surround yourself with those who see the greatness within people when they don't see it in themselves.
Nothing in life is promised except death. If you have the opportunity to play this game of life, you need to appreciate every moment. A lot of people don't appreciate their moment until it's past.
Faster, stronger, smarter, more humble, less ego. Discipline your body. Free your mind. Get up early and go. Get after it, and you will become the person you want to be. And you become that person through one small decision at a time.
If the game or break go against you, don't let up, put on more steam. If the game or break goes against you, don't let up, put on more steam. In life, with your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, the things that you seek to do, the things that you aspire to do, the things that you want to accomplish. Never forget, first and foremost, how brilliant you are. Never forget the people that played a part in you getting in this position. Never forget what you're made out of. But on the road to success, on the road to accomplishment, on the road to evolving and development, if the game of break goes against you in life, the only favor I ask of you, because in life, people don't burn out, people don't quit, and people don't underachieve because of what they do. People burn out, people quit, and people underachieve because life makes them forget why they do it. And so the only favor I ask of you, if the game of break of life go against you, don't let up. Put on more steam.
When you are struggling and you start thinking about giving up, I want you to remember, and that is the power of hope. The belief that something better is always possible if you're willing to work for it and fight for it. It is our fundamental belief in the power of hope that has allowed us to rise above the voices of doubt and division, of anger and fear that we have faced in our own lives. Our hope that if we work hard enough and believe in ourselves, then we can be whatever we dream, regardless of the limitations that others may place on us. The hope that when people see us for who we truly are, maybe, just maybe, they too will be inspired to rise to their best possible selves.
Your life is before you. You fill these pages with your hopes, with your passion, with your dreams. You write. You write the greatest story ever told.
You cannot run your demons. They'll always find you. Only way to beat them is look at them eye to eye and make them your mindset's the only thing that gets you through hard times.
When you make the decision to do what you want to do with your life, just know this: because the family and the friends in your life do not share your vision. But know this: only those that can see the invisible can do the impossible.
When it all boils down to what it is, mano a mano. And if you ain't got more heart than me, if you ain't been working harder than me, if you ain't sacrificed more than me, I'm gonna destroy you. And I'm not retreating. I'm not running. I don't care what they say on paper. We live by this and we die by this. We don't retreat. We don't run. Every man must search his own soul. You don't judge a person by where they stand in times of comfort and convenience. You judge them by where they stand in times of challenge and controversy. And if you ain't work, like when you work for something, it gives you a different type of attachment to it. The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. That's why cats can give up so easy. They ain't got nothing invested. Like when a cat been sacrificed for something, well, you gonna have a cold day in hell before you take it from him.
Whatever happened last week happened last week. You had a second chance of making your life happen today. Who cares of what they think? You make a mistake, you get up. Today's the day you lay the groundwork down. Today's the day you let motherfuckers know you're there to throw down. Roll up your sleeves, you don't give a
No more. No more. No more. No more excuses. No more, I'll start tomorrow. No more, just this once. No more accepting the shortfalls of my own will. No more taking the easy road.
They print money, they don't print time. They don't print opportunities. You can lose money and get it back. You can't get time back. You can't get experiences back. Worship getting your time back with your family. Average people focus on money. The great focus on time, because I can't get my time back.
To win, all you have to do is overcome that moment.
You see people who do big things and you automatically say, that guy's so lucky, she's so lucky. You don't know that. You're assuming that. Going to work every day for 20 years and grinding your ass off and then becoming a multi-millionaire, that's not luck. That's action and reaction. Quit using the word luck, quit believing in luck, and start believing in work. Start believing in results that come from your actions.
There's one thing about being in dark places. If you have the courage to stay in there long enough, your eyes will start to adjust to the darkness. Your body and mind will always adjust to more suffering, to more pain. If you want to push harder, know this. Your mind quits way before your body does.
Everybody in your life will have a turn back moment. No matter who you are, you're going to have such a period in your life where it seems like it's not working. You're going to have doubts, you're going to have a lot of trials and tribulations and challenges, and everybody has what's called a turn back moment. You always have a moment in your life where the direction you're going, you will have to make a decision to keep going or you turn back. The sad thing is, the average person turns back.
You don't try to build a wall. You don't set out to build a wall. You don't say, I'm gonna build the biggest, baddest, greatest wall that's ever been built. You don't start there. You say, I'm gonna lay this brick as perfectly as a brick can be laid. There will not be one brick on the face of the earth that's going to be laid better than this brick that I'm going to lay. And you do that every single day. Soon you have a wall.
You don't have to force yourself or motivate yourself to think negatively, to be depressed, to hate somebody, to want revenge, to want to get back at somebody. Your mind is on automatic. It will do that by itself.
No more bowing down to whatever unhealthy or unproductive thoughts float through my mind. No more waiting for the perfect moment, and no more indecision, and no more lies. No more weakness. No more. Now is the time for strength. And through strength, and through will, and through unwavering discipline, I will become what I want to be. I will become who I want to be. And then, and only then, will I rest and say, no more.
You don't make excuses for the failure, you grieve it. You feel the pain. You don't brush it off, you don't downplay it. You feel the pain and you don't rush to feel better. To get past it, you gotta go through it. You can't go around your failure, you can't go over your failure, you can't go under your failure, you can't ignore your failure. You need to grieve the failure.
I want you to take the craziest dream you ever had. That dream that you were too embarrassed to tell anyone about. And I want you to go after it. I want you to make it a reality. I don't want you to dream, I want you to do. Or I was gonna make a decision to step out of the darkness. You see, when you're in that darkness, you wanna sit there and wait for the light to come. When you're in that darkness, it feels uncomfortable, but you can't wait and sit in that darkness. The only way out is to step forward, to face your fears, to become your own light.
But momentum Momentum requires you always do the next thing to keep the momentum going. And the reason you get yourself in a passionate place is so that you change your life, and the only thing that changes your life is making a decision. So while you're in this passionate state, that's where you make decisions.
And my personal question to you is, why not you? You've got the brains, you can make decisions, you can study the plan, you can change your life, you can grow immensely in the next few years, you can make your dreams come true.
People who win figure out reasons why they're going to make it. They understand that that's all fucking noise.
The first way to get focus is to find purpose. The way to find purpose is you must identify what it is that you have to be purposeful in.
The universe doesn't look in terms of good and bad, right, wrong, success, failure. It looks in terms of cause and effect. Every cause creates an effect, and every effect has a cause. And if you participate in the cause, you participate in the effect. And I don't say will participate in it, you participate in it. They happen together. Your experience of the effect may take some time. It may take a few days, it may take a month, it may happen immediately.
What is it that you should value? And people say, well, being happy. They don't even mean that, by the way. If you decompose what people mean when they say they want to be happy, what it turns out they actually mean is they don't want to be miserable. They're way more concerned with avoiding suffering than they are with pursuing, enthusiastic, positive emotion. So even the statement, I want to be happy, is actually not an accurate reflection of what it is that you want.
What happens with human beings is every thought has a frequency. Every thought produces a chemical. So if you keep obsessing about your lack of finances, your lack of time, your lack of energy, your lack, you're taking thought, it's producing a frequency, and that frequency in the form of chemistry is storing that thought emotionally right in your second center. You feel guilty, you feel unhappy. The moment you feel unhappy, then you generate more thoughts equal to that feeling, which makes more chemicals, and you keep taking energy from the brain and storing it in the body. If you react to people in your life and you feel anger, frustration, whatever it is, drawing from this field, this electromagnetic field, you're tapping that resource and you're making chemistry out of it, and the field shrinks. So now, by doing that and living in survival, the body no longer is a magnet.
Every ideal is a judge, and that makes perfect sense, because an ideal is something to which you aspire, and the gap between you and that ideal, if it's your ideal, is felt as judgment. And so that's one of the reasons people are very afraid to have an ideal. That's why I wrote, do not hide things in the fog. It's like, well, you should lay out an ideal. You should pursue an ideal. Why wouldn't you? Well, when you make your ideal explicit, it turns into your judge. Well, then you can listen to that judge and move forward and transform.
Discipline with desire is easy. Discipline isn't that hard if you have real desire. I mean, if you want something bad enough, the discipline's not too difficult. I think discipline without desire is very difficult.
Do what is meaningful, not what is expedient, because meaning is an instinct. Meaning is the instinct that guides you in life across the totality of life, right? What's expedient, that's what you might want to do right now in an impulsive sense, right? Because you're driven forward by, anger or anxiety or frustration or disappointment or despair, some sort of one-eyed motivational monster that's got you in its grip that really isn't considering everything at once. And the instinct for meaning seems to be a consequence of the integration of all of those underlying motivations and emotions with social being, and then the manifestation of something like the proper pathway forward. And so you need that because you need to know how to move forward in life, because you need to move forward in life. You need to act in life.
Every day I want to train myself to be prepared for a war. Whatever that war is, whether that's external or internal. The discipline of doing something painful every day, I think, is one of the most important disciplines that any human being can have. Whatever that pain looks like for you, I believe we must lean into pain every day. Otherwise, pain is going to lean into us. But if we're leaning into it first, when stuff happens, it's like, yeah, I got this, because I do this every day. I'm not saying we should be in pain 80% of our day, but maybe an hour, 30 minutes, you should do something that makes you want to stop, or makes you want to relax. Because then when stuff really happens, you'll be relaxed.
All I can get certain about is putting my next step forward. And I think it's kind of like when you're walking, you become so comfortable walking you don't even realize, but actually all you're doing is putting your next step right. You can't think about what's going to happen in 100 steps time because you haven't walked over the ground there. And you don't know how the ground is going to change. So for me, the monk mindset is, how do I just place this next step? Not perfectly, but how do I place this next step with my best intention, process, and habits possible? And what does that require? That requires me to be connected internally to my internal guide. And what does that require? It requires me to find that stillness and space so that I can actually listen.
There's the insistence upon action as of primary import. We're not fundamentally creatures who passively perceive the objective world. That's not the goal of our perceptual systems. It's not the goal of our memory. The reason that you have memories isn't to remember the past. The reason you have memories is so that if something bad happened to you in the past, you can figure out what it was that was bad, and you can figure out why it happened, and then you can not do it again in the future, right? It's very practical, and it's the same on the positive end of the spectrum. If good things happen to you in the past, then conceivably duplicating whatever you did to get those good things to happen could have them happen again in the future. So it's practical memory, and it's oriented towards action, and it's oriented towards like the quality of your life.
I think the parameter, the principle, the value, the ethic that actually helps us continue with perseverance and patience is hope. Hope is that one element that can keep us going. The worst thing to happen in life is to lose hope and be hopeless. So if you're sitting there waiting for our turn to come, hope against hope. One day, I will also have my time and my place. When, how, we do not know, because these are factors that are completely beyond our control.
You may have had a bad day, but it doesn't give you a right to keep a bad disposition. That bad day is something that you have got to go through to develop who you want to be on a brighter day. If you allow the bad days to define who you are, then you will look at life and see that is somehow the dark days are meant to be the right of your life. That somehow that ill omens and bad thoughts were there to wipe out the light that is inside of you.
So many times in life, man, we choose to settle for less when so much more is available to us. And I don't know what this message means to you today, right? I don't know where you're at. My life changed when I stopped deciding to settle for less, and I decided to go get the more that was meant for my life. Right? We live in life every single day existing because we've chosen to settle for less at some point in our life. Life is not meant to be lived to exist. Life is meant to be lived to evolve.
See, when you're going someplace and you already know how much you're going to make, you already know how far you can go, you're in a dead-end position. It erodes your self-esteem. It lowers your sense of yourself. It creates an inner turmoil. It creates an emptiness in you. So I say that your life is worth finding what it is that you're supposed to do.
Every single day, I was pursuing perfection and excellence, even though I knew I would probably never catch it. But just the fact that I was willing to chase it, I would defeat most of my opponents, because most of my opponents would never chase something that didn't have any guarantees attached to it. Most cats need guarantees in order to be great.
Just start working at it just a little bit, but do find out what your work is and hold on to it, and don't let your dream go. Don't let it go.
But maybe tomorrow you can pick up that fire. Perhaps you can make it a little bit more bright by focusing on the things that you know you can control rather than allowing it to roll over you.
Well, I would say pick something, right? Pick something, a nameable goal, and then try to implement it. And what'll happen is you'll learn a lot by trying to implement it. And one of the things you might learn is what a slightly better goal might be. You know, because if you try something diligently and you succeed or you fail, you're going to learn from the effort expended in the detailed implementation of the goal is going to inform you. You will be slightly different as a consequence of the attempt. And what that'll mean is that the next goal you pick will be a little more suited to you.
And so the moment you stop making the same choices that you always make, get ready, because it's going to be uncomfortable. And that's the moment you're heading towards the new self. And we call it stepping into the river of change. But now, remember, 95% of who you are is your body as the mind. You know, you've done something enough times that your body does it better than your brain. So you may actually complain unconsciously, because your body does it all the time. And all of a sudden you say, no complaining. No more blaming, no more feeling sorry for myself, no more talking about other people. I'm gonna stop.
You have to make it a part of your passion to say that I'm not going to allow happiness to pass me up. I'm about to run roughshod over everything that tries to stop me from my goals, because I am not going to allow the comments from trolls to set my opinion about myself, not now, not tomorrow, not today. Don't compare yourself to what you see on others. Compare yourself to what you know is inside of your mind, that vision about what you could have been. And some of the truth is this, that until you go through some things, you don't realize that the limits you had on yourself were way too low.
I want you to understand that life is meant to be lived to evolve, not just exist. And I want to tell you right now, listen to my voice, that there's so much more for your life. I don't care what hard time you're going through, there's more to your life than hard times. I don't care what hard time that you suffered in life, what loss that you suffered, there's more to your life than what you lost, right? I don't care about that person doing you wrong or what's going on in your life. There's more to your life than that person doing you wrong.
The thoughts in your head that say, why don't you start tomorrow? Tomorrow's a better day. This is too hard for me, I can't change. Something's wrong with me, it's my mother's fault. It's my ex-husband's fault. It's my ex-wife's fault. I'm this way because of this event. Or the most important one, this doesn't feel right. And the moment you respond to that thought as if it's true, that thought
leads to the same choice, which leads to the same behavior, that creates the same experience, that produces the same emotion, and the person says, "This feels right."
You have to go through some of these trials, some of these dark nights, so that you can write about them and have the fodder needed for you to have the fire that can give you the light to make it through every bad situation for the rest of your life. Good things happen to great people. Bad things happen to great people. But what you have to decide is, am I going to allow the bad things to be greater than my good? Am I going to allow frustration to overwhelm me? If you do that, then you never had a purpose, you never had a passion in the first place. Everyone can live life if it were easy. Everyone could thrive if there was nothing that could come after you to harm you. But whatever comes after you to harm you, it's only there to help shape you into a better person. There's more in you. Dark nights will come, but there's a champion that walks out with the light. You ready to be that champion?
Here and now. That's it. You want to improve? You want to get better? You want to get on a workout program or a clean diet? You want to start a business? Where do you start? You start right here.
You're the captain, you're the master, you're the foreman, you're the general, you're the head. Don't give control of this to nobody. You can protect yourself from negativity. And that's what stops most people, negative thoughts. You can coat your mind from negativity.
Pick up your damn suffering and bear it. And try to be a good person so you don't make it worse.
The question I want to ask you right now as we talk about becoming the greatest you is, what's going to be your reason? What's the reason when hard times hit your life, you keep going? What's the reason when everybody calls you stupid for believing in big dreams, that you're going to ignore those opinions and keep going to achieve more with your life?
You were made to do something great with your life, weren't you? And you've always known it. There's always been this little voice in your head since you were a little boy or a little girl. You've always known there was something special about you. You weren't born to be average. You weren't born to have a mediocre existence on this earth. You were born to do something great.
See, we don't have the courage, and that's what it takes, courage. It takes guts to do that which you know you need to do. If you don't have the courage to act, life many times will move on you and make you act. You will be so miserable, you will catch so much hell, you say, yes, I will do it.
You start right now. You initiate the action aggressively. You go. Because the idea isn't going to execute itself. And the book isn't going to write itself. And the weights out in the gym, they're not going to move themselves. You have to do it, and you have to do it now.
Chasing down the person you were born to be, that you were destined to be. And since that day started, the world, the people around you, are trying to get you to conform to average.
So don't let this season take your life. You can win this fight. If it wasn't for my darkest storms, I would have never found the strength to shine my light. There's a purpose greater than your pain. There's no growth without rain. Sometimes it takes your hardest storms to birth your greatest change. Your life is not finished. You keep living. It doesn't matter what happened in your past, you're just a choice away from a new beginning.
Your better future is a dream for yourself and for your family. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What do you want to be? What do you want to see? Without dreams and visions, people perish. You've got to have something to go for that inspires the heart and the soul.
They're trying to get you off that track to finally meet your twin someday, the best possible version of you. Every single day has to be a pursuit to get better, to improve, to grow, to stretch.
How do you overcome the suffering of life? Is be a better person. That's how you do it. Well, that's hard. It takes responsibility. And I think, you know, if you said to someone, you want to have a meaningful life, everything you do matters. That's the definition of a meaningful life. But everything you do matters. So you're going to have to carry that with you.
Why do most people fail? Got it locked? The answer is they never start. Now, the reason that most people never start is because they don't think that they're going to get a result. I'm too stupid. I'm not good enough. The hard thing is taking the first step. Everything else is just persistence.
Inspiration is not enough. Your dream, some of y'all want to hear this, is not enough. Motivation is not enough. Information is not enough. It comes down to application. Application creates transformation. So you can hear it, you can read it, but if you don't apply it, nothing will change in your life.
And that means you gotta stop thinking about it and stop dreaming about it and stop researching every aspect of it and reading all about it and debating the pros and cons of it. Just start doing it.
Because it's decisions we make to chase that best version of us every second, every day, that every day alters the direction of the course of our life. We've all made decisions that we regret. That decision took me off course. That decision put me further away of being the best life I could have, the best version of me.
Next step, ask yourself, what's blocking you? What's preventing you from acting? Why don't you have the courage to handle that? Why won't you face that? What are you running away from? What kind of avoidance behavior are you engaged in? Next is, what is the worst thing that can happen when you take action?
It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default.
Take that first step and make it happen. Get after it, and get after it here and now.
Got to chase that dream before you die, man. You should go and live your dream. Just go see. God puts your real life in your imagination. That's where your real life ain't in your present circumstance. Your real life is not in your current situation. Your real life is not in your paycheck. Your real life, he tucks it away in your imagination.
Ladies and gentlemen, it takes courage to live your dreams. It takes courage to manifest your greatness. It takes courage to decide to live, to decide to bring out all of your talents and abilities, to decide to stretch out, to decide to take a chance. It takes courage to be happy, just to be you.
Every single day in every aspect of our lives and the things we're privileged to do and the people we're connected to. When the situation or the moment does not go our way, because we all know what to do when it goes right. But when God says no, who will you be? But most importantly, who's watching you and who can be blessed by the opposition, the adversity, and the challenge that you're facing?
Einstein said, imagination is everything. It's a preview to life's coming attractions. Everything you imagine is a preview to a coming attraction.
Once I see it, once I feel it, once I see where I was broken, then I can attack that weakness. I can fill in that gap. I can reinforce that breach. If you break, it means it's time to fortify your will to make it stronger.
You've got genius in you, you've got goodness in you, you've got creativeness in you. If you decide to take the initiative to change the current quality of your life, I say to you that you will find that the universe is on your side.
You're not great because you're poor. You're not great because you're rich. Your greatness is not based upon your income. It's not based upon inheritance. Greatness is not talent. Now, this is very important, so listen. Greatness is not talent. There are some people who are good at doing, but they're not good at being. They're great at doing something, but they're not great at being someone.
Start pointing the finger, you lose power immediately. As soon as you start standing in somebody else's fault, what you do is say, I'm a child, and I need somebody grown to handle this. Own it. Like, what's yours? Now, we're not talking about something somebody else wants you to own. What is yours that you're not owning?
Life is on your side. Now, will it be turbulent? Yes. Will it be easy? No, no. Will you have some opposition? Yes. Will I make a lot of mistakes? Yes.
But the great thing about it, if you love the process, when opposition and adversity hits, you will have a way of embracing it and using it, not only for yourself, but you will use it to make everybody that's connected to you stronger, because your vision has to be larger than yourself. If everything that you do is just about you and for your personal gain, something's gonna come up against you that's gonna be a lot tougher than you. And if it's just about you, the moment you hit it, you're gonna quit and give up every time.
Greatness is not cheap. Greatness will cost you something. Greatness will cost you something, not somebody else. It'll cost you something. It's going to cost you some time. It's going to cost you some energy. It's going to cost you some sacrifice. It's going to cost you some resources. It's going to cost you some hours of your life laying down, paying the price, going the extra mile, doing what other people are not willing to do. Greatness is not cheap. Greatness always costs more. That's why there's not many people who achieve greatness. They're not willing to pay the price.
Maybe you here because you need to hear this here. Maybe you here because you need to dust off your dreams. Maybe you need to explore your imagination.
Commitment is staying true to what you said you were going to do long after the mood that you have set it in has left. You see, people think commitment is saying, yes, I'll do it on the days when it feels good. But I have been committed to everything that I ever started in my life, and I never stopped and I never quit it. And so by being committed to everything that I started, I finished it. It built a certain type of spirit. It built a certain type of mentality. It built a certain type of individual. And so now I couldn't quit even if I wanted to. I couldn't lay in the bed even if I wanted to. I couldn't stop even if I wanted to. I had too much sweat equity in my life and everything that I was doing.
Viktor Frankl calls it unavoidable suffering. You can't duck it. But most people spend their life not wanting to deal with the pain of rejection, the pain of defeat, the pain of being disappointed, the pain of losing, the pain of failure, the pain of being criticized, the pain of not being liked, the pain. That's called life. Life is full of pain.
Bishop Jake said, I would hate to die and never do the thing I was born to do.
Every time you break, and in every way that you break, while it's a chance, it's definitely a chance for you to give up and for you to just to fall apart. There's opportunity to get stronger and get smarter and get faster and get tougher and get more stable and get more resilient and get better.
Ask yourself the question, what would your life look like
if you decided not to care what people thought of you.
Your gifts are on loan. They were given to you because you make a difference. You make a difference in the lives of others. Your gift, until you unleash it, until you unpack it, until you discover the levels that it can go to, there are lives that will be lost because they needed what's inside of you. There are purposes that won't be fulfilled until you give away your gift. What's your gift?
Those times when you get up early and you work hard, those times when you stay up late and you work hard, those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream. That's the dream. It's not the destination, it's the journey.
And you've got to go ahead and stop putting brakes on yourself. You've got to remember that you're significant. You got to remember that somehow the date wasn't promised, but you got it. That means that there is more promise still in you. And we got to pull that out. And how do you pull it out? That means you go ahead and you ignite your will with intentionality and action. You put together discipline and purpose and develop habits. Those habits are hard to maintain because it's easy to procrastinate, but not once you realize that you've wasted years already, you've wasted weekends already. Do something now.
Your hardships, your challenges, your situation will either be the reason you don't make it, or it will be the story you tell when you do make it, and you get to make that choice.
Always say to people, people don't burn out, quit, underachieve, stop, don't accomplish because of what they do. People burn out, quit, underachieve, don't accomplish because life makes them forget why they do it.
What you do now will echo in eternity. What you do now will echo in other generations. Because there is someone who made a way for you. Someone opened doors for you. The way you give them a thank you is by what you do for others.
And when you need motivation yourself, don't look for someone to scream and yell. Don't look for someone else to give you motivation. Look at yourself. Look at yourself and remind yourself why. Why you are doing what you are doing. Remind yourself that this struggle, this temporary pain, this fight that you're in, this is what will make you stronger and faster and smarter and better. And then, with that motivation, go forward.
Every time I've lost, people say you gotta jump right back up. I disagree with that. After you lose, or when you get knocked down, stay down there for a minute. Understand why you lost. What were the reasons? Why are you down here? Why did you lose? So every time I lost, I stayed down for a second. Minutes, hours, days. But when I stood up, I was different. I was smarter. Now you start putting the pieces that are necessary to win over and over and over again.
When you look back over your life, you'll see that there are many people who've sacrificed and given so that you could be great. You owe it to yourself and you owe it to them to be great. Fulfill your purpose. Chase down your dreams. I promise you, my friend, I promise you that when you release your potential and you unpack those gifts that are just for you, you will do things that you never thought possible. But it begins with a determined mind today.
Into the fray, into the storm. into the heat of the battle, where victory is forged.
And that's necessary because it's often the case that you wake up at 4 in the morning, or at least sometimes the case that you wake up at 4 in the morning when things haven't been going that well and wonder just what the hell the point is of your futile and miserable life. You have to have something real to set against that. It can't be just rationalizations about how, you're a valuable person among others, even though that's true. That's not good enough. And observing courage in yourself is definitely one of the things that can help you sleep soundly at night when things are destabilized a little bit around you.
So some of you are going to experience a breakthrough. Some of you are going to go back and look at your dreams and brush them off. Some of you are going to begin to look at yourself and say, hey, look here, I know I have not done all that I can do. Whatever goal that you have in mind, I want that to be a goal that will challenge you, something that will make you stretch. It was Osborne who said, unless you attempt to do something beyond that which you've already mastered, you will never grow. What is it that you looked at some point in time and you decided that you couldn't do it, that you talked yourself out of it? Whatever it is, bring it back out there. How are you going to do it? That will come to you in due time. See, you don't get in life what you want, ladies and gentlemen. You get in life what you are.
It depends on you. You may have to forgive yourself for some mistakes that you've made. You may have to forgive some other people so that you can unlock your potential to trust and love and give and not hold back. You don't need these walls. You need to scale them. You need to unblock yourself, unleash yourself, discover what's in you, and unlock your potential.
But life can be a lot broader than that when you realize one simple thing, and that is that everything around us that we call life was made up by people that are no smarter than you. So build a life. Don't live one, build one.
If you wake up in the morning, you start having negative thoughts. Man, this ain't my day. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I'm tripping, I just don't feel myself. In the middle of the day, if you feel yourself doing that, stop. Just stop for a second. And start going over in your mind everything you have to be grateful for. Not everything you want, everything you already have, because what you have is substantial.
Life is not easy. It is not. Don't try to make it that way. Life's not fair. It never was. It isn't now, and it won't ever be. Do not fall into the trap, the entitlement trap, of feeling like you're a victim. You are not. Get over it, get on with it. And yes, most things are more rewarding when you break a sweat to get them.
You should never have to question something that's real. All right, you go through it to grow from it. You go through it to learn from it. You don't go through it just to go back to it. That's like putting your hand on a hot stove that you know is hot and expecting it not to burn. Wake up. Stop teaching yourself the same lessons that you should have learned from. You will never move forward with your life, living your life through the rearview mirror.
And we've all had experiences where we were working on something and we knew it was possible and we did those things that were necessary to bring it into reality. We took the responsibility to make it happen. Other people couldn't see it. A lot of people didn't believe it. You were attacked, you were criticized. People were opposing you, but you kept on doing it. It was hard, it was rough, it was difficult, but to you it was worth it. And eventually you got to a level you know, can nothing stop me now.
I don't care where you come from. I don't care where you were raised. 1 + 1 is always going to equal 2. 10 years of motherfucking work when everybody else is partying, making excuses, doing the cool thing on the weekend is going to pay off. You can do this.
Small minds discuss other people. Gossip. Good minds discuss events. Great minds discuss ideas.
Fear of failure. Fear of failure can keep you from taking risk. It can leave you sitting there paralyzed into not taking action. And that is obviously bad. But I don't want you to overcome fear of failure. I want you to be afraid of failure. Fear of failure is good. Fear of failure will keep you up at night planning, rehearsing, going over contingencies. Fear of failure will keep you training hard. Fear of failure will stop you from cutting corners. Fear of failure will keep you working, thinking, striving, and relentlessly trying to be more prepared for battle.
Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. Think about every poor decision you've made in your life. There was more emotion that was involved in it than there was mind. Every single one of them. Think about it. Your feelings keep you in bed. Your mind tells you, get up.
Practice and practice and practice. Practice makes what? Practice makes improvement. You can always better your best. You can always go beyond anything that you have ever done. You'll never hit a state of perfection. You're always bigger than what you do. And so all you're looking for are new breakthroughs through practice and practice and practice. You'll get better and better and better.
First thing to do is to forsake what's in front of you, because the attitude that you bring to what's in front of you will color your entire experience. It will change your character into that of negativity, and you'll never ascend. You'll never get more. You'll never expand. You'll stay stuck.
You can think about it, you can wish for it, you can hope for it, you can think all about it all as long as you want. But unless you get out every single motherfucking day and put in the work, inch by motherfucking inch, you will never get there.
Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup. It becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Do you have the guts to fail? If you don't fail, you're not even trying. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. Imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential, the ghost of the ideas you never acted on, the ghost of the talents you didn't use, and they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes?
We got to be excited about the future. We got to do things that make us want to live. It cannot always be about problems every day. I mean, do you want to wake up every morning and everything's just a problem? Well, what inspires you and what makes you excited about the future? There's got to be some things like that.
You need to make it a habit to start every fucking day validating yourself. Cheering for yourself, because life is a marathon. And this might be a challenging leg where you're like, I'm just going to throw in the towel. I'm not going to do that thing. Hell no. If you're standing in front of that mirror, you deserve to feel the support and empowerment and encouragement that you need. You are doing so much every single day that you don't give yourself credit for.
I don't care how good you are in anything. You don't have discipline, you ain't nobody. You're nothing without discipline. Because you give up under the slightest struggle without discipline. Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
You know, too many times we allow yesterday's troubles to turn into today's struggles. We allow yesterday's worries to turn into today's stress. Too many of us are too good, at carrying the things from our past into our present. And we live our whole entire life in stress, our whole entire life in worry. And we don't use our one superpower that we have, which is appreciation.
When you get in your own way, that's what self-doubt is. The fastest Band-Aid ripped off remedy to fixing this terrible situation is to do the thing you're afraid to do. Do it. It's not about feeling confident about going into the situation. It's not about knowing that it's going to work out. It's not about having the most detailed plan for how this thing will happen. It's about doing it. Courage. Courage is what you will experience and what you will grow when the doubt is there, but you do it anyway. So your problem isn't doubt. Your problem is courage. Doubt is going to be there. But doubt gets out of the way when you express courage.
If you can't be a pine on the top of the hill, be a scrub in the valley. But be the best little scrub on the side of the rill. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. For it isn't by size that you win or you fail. Be the best of whatever you are.
But also to remind you, like, everything you're going through is preparing you. I want to remind you of that. Like, everything that you're going through is preparing you for something greater, right? Everything that you went through, you made it through, because you're here. You made it through. And the things that you made it through is preparing you for what's meant for you. Everything that you went through, it made it through. I'm sure you can think right now, all the times when you felt like, man, my life is over, my story is done, but you made it through it. Everything that you went through and made it through is preparing you, was preparing you for what is meant for you.
What's your why? You need a why. Why do you need a why? Because some days you're going to look at that alarm clock, you're going to look at that alarm clock and it's going to say 6, and 6 is the time you wake up, and you're going to look again, it's going to say 6:05, and you're going to say, I don't want to get up. But that why is going to say, I push yourself, get up. Your mama needs you, your daddy needs you, your children need you, your community, get up. Your why is gonna push you when you can't push yourself. When you wanna quit and give up, your why is gonna give you that edge you need, that advantage you need, that lift that you need to get to the next level. Your why.
Do the thing and you will have the power. We're waiting for the power. We're waiting not to self-doubt any longer. Right? Whatever it is that you're deciding that you want to do with yourself, that you're doubting your ability on, just do it.
Great ideas are never going to interrupt you. They have to be pursued. And if you don't pursue them, you're going to get what everybody else has, which is all this fear, all this uncertainty, all this stuff that won't work, because everybody's focused on what won't work, what can't happen. Why? Because they're afraid. They're afraid to fail. They're afraid to try and feel like they're not enough. So you got to stand guard of that mind by feeding your mind. You know, Jim Rohn used to say to me, success leaves clues. If you want things to get better, you got to get better. If you want things to change, you got to change. But you got to do it deliberately and consciously.
And so what happens is we very often reinforce things when we put things in the negative, right? I can't get apart.
I can't get apart. Can't get apart. Or I can't do this versus I'm going to keep doing this. It's the same thing for you. If you focus on the obstacles, all you will see is obstacles. It's your choice how you choose to perceive your own career. It's literally perspective.
If you watch a great movie, if you read a great book, you know, the size and the power of the hero, how much you become as a hero is defined by how tough an obstacle you face. How difficult is the villain, the opponent?
The things you know you're supposed to do them. And be as strong as you can, mentally, physically, and emotionally, for yourself, for your team, for your family. Hold the line and be strong.
Listen to me, many of you right now, life's got you up against the rope, and you gotta do me a favor. Like, you can't give up, you can't give in. Life, listen to me, if it was easy, everybody would do it. And if life's got you backed up, I need you to do what Buster Douglas did. Buster Douglas started fighting back. He said, I know you knocked out 30 other people before me, but I won't be the 31st. You gotta tell life, I don't know who you've been dealing with, but you ain't dealt with me. You gotta tell bankruptcy. You gotta tell divorce. You gotta tell sickness. I don't know who you've been dealing with, but you come up against the wrong one this time.
Courage is the most important of all the virtues, because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. You see, you can't be consistently kind, or fair, or humane, or generous. Not without courage, because if you don't have it, sooner or later you'll stop and say, the threat is too much, the difficulty is too high, the challenge is too great. There was someone before me. Someone found the path. Someone made the road before me, and I have the responsibility of making the road for someone who is yet to come.
You know, most people say they want something. They want to be great, they want an opportunity, they want leadership. But then, when opportunities start to come, they wilt. The reason why most people bail on it is because they don't believe they can live up to the standard. They don't want even to face the idea that perhaps everything that I've said was just talk. Because when the opportunity comes, you gotta seize it. You have to go after it. If the ball fumbles and hits the ground, you gotta be the person that goes after it. It's not by strength, it's not by might, it's not by height, it's by desire to go after and achieve. You wanted it, now prove it.
No matter what you face, no matter how bad it is going to be, when there is a challenge, and by a challenge I mean anything in life, any challenge, anything that you're facing, the only way to overcome the challenges that you face is to start walking. Take that step every day, no matter what you are facing. Get up and start walking.
What is it that you looked at some point in time and you decided that you couldn't do it? That you talked yourself out of it? Whatever it is, bring it back out there.
Because there's enough things coming after your confidence. There are enough vampires trying to suck it out of you through bad relationships, bad parenting, family members, and there are times you're going to have to separate yourself from everyone that wants to stop you from being great. No matter how close they were to you in the past, if you want the future that is really yours, you got to separate yourself from those who are try to separate you from your dreams.
See, you don't get in life what you want, ladies and gentlemen. You get in life what you are, not what you want.
This is about subtraction and addition. Add yourself into a circle that is about absolutely motivating you to be more.
Well, what are you leaving out if you're leaving out responsibility? And the answer might be, well, maybe you're leaving out the meaning of life. That's what it looks like to me. It's like, here you are, suffering away. What makes it worthwhile? Responsibility. That's what gives life meaning. It's like lift a load. Then you can tolerate yourself, right? Because look at, you're useless, easily hurt, easily killed. Why should you have any self-respect? Pick something up and carry it. Make it heavy enough so that you can think, yeah, well, useless as I am, at least I could move that from there to there.
See, the good news is that we can always become more by working to develop ourselves. So the first process of making this your decade, you've got to begin to take a look at your life and look at where are you right now? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What gives your life a sense of fulfillment, a sense of joy? What does a full, rich life means to you? What is it that you could love doing 7 days a week that'll bring a smile to your face?
The rest of us can only see the outside, see the potential. But you can't teach a kid to ride a bike at a seminar. I can't teach you by speaking to you. I have to speak to your spirit, to your will, to get up and tell you to go get it. You gotta have that such a desire that no matter what happens, you're getting it. If it means you've gotta spend an extra year, you have to realize that being delayed is not being denied. That what you're experiencing by being delayed is just a greater gratitude when you get it.
You're a damn fighter. Fight for it. I don't care how many times you've been knocked down. I don't care how many times life hit you in your damn mouth. You still living. You still breathing. You still standing back up. Go get what's yours. Go get what's yours. Fight ain't over, man. Throwing no damn towel.
You see, when you're not pursuing your goal, you are literally committing spiritual suicide. When you have some goal out here that you're stretching for and reaching for that takes you out of your comfort zone, you'll find out some talents and abilities you have that you didn't know you had.
Because when you finally get your hand around success and around the things you've been waiting on, that deep breath, that sense of satisfaction, that goal achieved, that's what people admire. Because you became more. Because you desired it, you wanted it, you desired it, you dreamed it, you wanted it, now you walk in it. And there is nothing more beautiful than the dream. Because the dreamer of dreams is someone who is living inspiration that God gave them. And inspiration means it's the thing that's in you that drives you.
It's about facing your fears. It takes discipline to face your fears so you can conquer them. And that's what discipline is. Discipline means taking the hard road, the uphill road, to do what's right for yourself and for other people. It's so often the easy path. The easy path that calls to us. To be weak for that moment, to break down for that moment, to give in to the desire and the short-term gratification. But the discipline will not allow that. The discipline calls for strength and fortitude and will.
What stops people from becoming successful is you look at your end goal and you see how far you are from it, and then a year later you realize you're still not there. Success is not how far you've gotten. Success is how far you've gotten from where you started.
The quote says, when you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person that walked into it. That's what the storm is all about. When you can't control what's happening to you, control how you respond to it. That's where your power is. When you can be calm in the midst of activity, this is the true state of nature. Happiness and comfort is not real happiness. When you can be happy in the midst of hardship, then you can see the true potential of the mind. Happiness and comfort is not real happiness. When you can be happy in the midst of hardship, then you can see the true potential of the mind.
Each and every one of you, at some point in your life, you are going to hit rock bottom. The question isn't, will you hit rock bottom? The question is, what are you going to do with yourself when it happens?
In order to reach your goals and do some incredible things, ladies and gentlemen, I say that you have something special. You have got to have faith and ignorance. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in what you're doing. You've got to believe in your product. You've got to believe in your services. You've got to believe in a power greater than yourself. You've got to believe in the power of pursuit. And you've got to be ignorant enough to know that you don't know what you can't do. Don't rule anything out.
Is when are you gonna start showing up for you? Perfect time that exists is right now, man. Don't wait for the clouds to clear for you to show up. Learn how to dance in the rain and allow what's trying to use you. You use it for your good.
If the game or break go against you, don't let up, put on more steam. If the game or break goes against you, don't let up, put on more steam.
You can never lose faith. That's the key. You have to believe in something that you can't see. You have to believe when you don't see no way how. You have to buckle down and keep believing. God is always coming. Here's the deal. The moment you ask God for something, he boxes it up and he ships it to you. Here's the problem with the package. He never gives you the date that it's going to arrive. It's going to come. He just don't tell you when.
I came back with a vengeance. I was driven by a purpose. I'm telling you, you'll never be what you're supposed to be. You'll never have what you're supposed to have. You'll never ball out until you got a purpose for why you do what you do.
The people who blew up, they blew up because there was something that was going wrong in their life, and they took that pain and they turned that pain into something.
What if you lose? What if you fail? What if things don't work out? So what? It's not about the goals that you reach, it's about what you become in the process. That's what it's about.
The price you will pay for not making your dream come true is far greater than the one that you will pay to make it come true. The price you will pay, the suffering you will go through to make your dream come true is incredibly small, infinitely smaller than the price you will pay if you never do. You'll pay that one the rest of your life.
I am so uninterested in empty dreamers, I can't see straight. What I care about, do you have the fortitude to fail?
In life, with your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, the things that you seek to do, the things that you aspire to do, the things that you want to accomplish, never forget first and foremost how brilliant you are. Never forget the people that played a part in you getting in this position. Never forget what you're made out of. But on the road to success, on the road to accomplishment, on the road to evolving and development, people burn out, people quit, and people underachieve because life makes them forget why they do it.
But you owe it to yourself to release the past so you can free yourself from the things that happened that disappointed you and move into a bold and brilliant and gorgeous future. Please do not let a stained past deny your spotless future.
You're paying too much attention to everything around you, not enough attention to this one. But the quality of your life is essentially determined by how you carry this one. Yes or no? This moment, what kind of clothes you're wearing, what kind of car you parked outside, what kind of home you live in does not determine the quality of your life. This moment, how joyful are you feeling within yourself determines the quality of your life, isn't it so? Nothing has been done about it. You think it'll happen in consequence, and you're setting impossible goals for your happiness.
The thing that's so interesting about being alive is that you're all in. No matter what you do, you're all in. This is gonna kill you. So I think you might as well play the most magnificent game you can while you're waiting. Because do you have anything better to do? Why not pick the best thing possible that you can do? Because you're more powerful than you think. Way more powerful than you think. I mean, God only knows what you are in the final analysis. You're blind to your own weaknesses, but you're also blind to your own strengths. How far could you take that? How much good could you do? Well, I would say, why don't you find out?
Are you telling the story of your own life, or are you hiding in the story of other people's lives? We hide in the story of other people's lives through gossip of people that are around us, talking bad about them. We hide in reality TV, we hide in the news, we hide in politicians, and we hide pretending we play for these sports teams. Those are all stories about other people's lives. Are you in the story of your own life?
Doing more work than anybody else is required for greatness.
When you're in a fight for your life, everyone else is on the sidelines watching. And it's easy for them to be critics because they can stand and watch you in the arena. But you need not to worry about those who are in the stands, because those who are in the stands don't understand what you're going through because they're not willing to put themselves in your shoes. The reason why they can't step in your shoes because it wouldn't fit them. The steps that you are taking are ordained, they are ordered, they are purposed, they are given to you by God.
You could be a lot more than you are. You could be so much more than you are that the boundaries of that are unimaginable. That's a way better message to someone who's in despair as what? You're okay the way you are, miserable, nihilistic, hopeless, amotivated, resentful. It's no time for a maternal embrace. It is in a sense, you know, because there's comfort in that. Mostly what that's time for is the clarion call to maturity. It's like, no, no, no. No, most of you has to go, man, but the best of you, it can come forward, and that best is there.
It isn't me. It's you. But it isn't me that changes you, it's you. You set the small goals, you achieve those goals, then set some more and achieve those, and set some more goals, maybe a little bit bigger, but not that much bigger. Just start. Start small. Start with changing tomorrow morning, just tomorrow morning. Get that squared away. And then move on to the next day and the next, and move your life to a better place. One little step. One little victory at a time.
At some time or another, have agonized over making a decision. Some decisions are major decisions. And also there are a lot of small decisions that we don't make.
that they tax our minds, they drain our energy, they create a lot of anxiety and nervousness and mental torment because we don't take care of it. We decide not to decide, which is a decision. Deciding to decide, to act, is a major, major challenge for all of us at different points in different areas of our lives. And there are things that happen to us along the way, experiences that we have that prevent us from working through the mental block of acting.
If you don't have a lofty ambition, then you suffer miserably. And the reason for that is life is really complex, short, finite, full of suffering, and beyond you. You know, people often say life is meaningless. It's like, no, it's not. That's wrong. Because if it was meaningless, that'd be easy. You could just sit there and do nothing and it wouldn't matter. When people say that life has no meaning, that isn't what they mean. What they mean is, I'm suffering stupidly and intensely and I don't know what to do about it. Well, the suffering is meaningful. It's just not the kind of meaning you want. So how do you get out of that? You note the baseline of suffering. And then you say to yourself, okay, I need to do something that justifies that.
An eagle flies at a certain altitude, and the only other bird flies at that altitude is another eagle. So if he finds himself flocking with pigeons, he may be flying too low. Eagles ain't got time to gossip. Kings don't gossip. Fools party, kings celebrate.
They don't know the things of your background that you've had to overcome, demons you've had to slay and deal with. There are some things that you haven't been able to get over, but if they had gone through it, neither could they. But what you have been able to do is grow discipline. But now it's time for you to help yourself.
The road of greatness has potholes, has detours, has wrecks. The road of greatness isn't pretty, but it's purposeful. And so your road isn't going to be smooth. Your road isn't going to be easy. Your road will be the road that's less traveled. But just know as you travel on this road and doubt creeps up. Just know as you're traveling this road and you start to question yourself. Just know as you're traveling this road and hard times creep up. Just know you were called to travel this road. And at the end of the road, everything that you can't even imagine is waiting for you. At the end of the road, they have a you. There's a you waiting for you that you can't even picture right now. You can't even fathom that you. The journey built this, and the journey wasn't pretty, but the journey was purposeful. The journey wasn't perfect, but the journey was purposeful.
And as you meet struggles, and as you struggle to stay on the path, first of all, remember you don't have to fight alone. Reach out to your comrades in arms. We win wars because we stick together, and when we stick together, we can overcome any enemy. And the struggles that you face, when they do try to flank you, do what a soldier does. Turn into the ambush, turn toward the enemy fire, and attack.
Reasons have power. Your reasons will drive you. When you have doubt, when your faith becomes weak, your reasons will fortify your faith. When you have an inner conversation, say, no, don't do that. Your reasons will become your rod and your staff to comfort you, to take you through those challenging moments. It can be painful, it will be uncomfortable, and that's where the growth is. When you're uncomfortable, when you're stretching out, when you're taking life by the collar.
How many mistakes I've made, how many times I've failed, how many times I've hit the ground, I got up. Do not be ashamed of the times you've lost. Use that as lessons learned and show the world what you're really made of. Everyone needs an alarm. You see, the alarm is something that goes off to remind you that it's time. It's time for you to get up. It's time for you to go after. It's time for you to make your presence known. You've rested long enough. You slept long enough. You have taken too long of a time out. The alarm is sounded. You see, life is going to pass us by if we sit here idly. You've got to get out of bed, you've got to get up, and you've got to dress your mindset before you dress your body. You've got to be able to look in the mirror and walk down those truths. You've got to be able to speak to yourself and say, it's time. I've got to evict out every negative thought, every nervous fear. You got to speak to yourself in such a way that you can believe it when no one else believes in you. You got to be able to say to yourself, I know that I am more than I was yesterday.
Do you realize that every day you thought you wasn't gonna make it? Do you remember them days where you thought it was absolutely unbearable and you thought you wasn't gonna endure that one? Do you know that your survival rate for every last one of them bad days is 100%. You survived every hater, you survived all the evictions, you survived the firings, you survived all the trouble you ever been in. Your survival rate is 100%.
You got to learn to let the past go so you can grow. Many people never act on their dreams because they allow their past experiences to determine what their possibilities are. Whatever you've done in the past, that's not a reflection of your possibilities. That's just a reflection of your consciousness. That's just a reflection of your development and your growth. The future is unfolding for you right now. The future is unlimited for you right now. No one knows where you can go. No one knows what you're capable of or what's possible for you.
Be able to say to yourself, I know that I am more than I was yesterday. I know that I'm becoming more. I know that I'm developing greatness. I know that I've got value. I know that I've got something I can bring to the table. I know that I'm made of more than what anybody else can see.
Can you be weak and strong at the same time? Yes, but I say be strong. Train your physical strength and exercise your mental strength by doing the right things, the hard things. The things you know you're supposed to do. Do them. And be as strong as you can, mentally, physically, and emotionally, for yourself, for your team, for your family. Hold the line and be strong.
Before we know it, we become something that we're not. And so many people in this world, they're living a life that's not theirs. And what I mean by that is that they're living a life that someone else gave them. They're living a life that pain gave them. They're living a life that depression gave them. They're living a life that a failed dream gave them. And they end up becoming that. That is not your identity, people. You gotta get back to the core of your being. You gotta get back to yourself.
But when you decide what's most important to you, your brain goes after it. If you don't know exactly what you want, or you let yourself get beyond that to something general, you're not going to achieve it. Clarity is power. The more clear you are about exactly what it is you want, the more your brain knows how to get there.
When you walk in, your essence, your presence, your impact walks in that room. You are a threat from the moment you got up to the moment you cross over to the line. When you come out of the tunnel, when you step into the ring, you have been a threat, you will be a threat, and there is an announcement that has been said over your life long before you realized it, where God said, this is my beloved son, my daughter, my child, and something great is in you. But until you realize just how great you are, you can't perform at that level.
When it feels scary to jump, Ian, that is exactly when you jump. Otherwise, you end up staying in the same place your whole life. And that I can't do.
Is instead of saying my sacrifices were rejected, so my hard work, my effort, everything that I'm doing to try and move forward, it's not working. And if you want to go towards hell, you keep saying, well, it's not working, but it's because of everyone else. They're rejecting me. They're not accepting what I've done. Whereas if you say to yourself, oh, it didn't work. Okay, it's my fault. What can I do better? And that's how you start moving in the other direction.
Don't give up. Don't let the world get you down. When it does get you down, get up and write what you want out of your life and don't fucking stop. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no vacation. You get up every fucking day, you look in the mirror, and you tell that mirror, I'm a bad motherfucker. You gotta speak to yourself with absolute assurance that even if I lose in a ring, if I lose on the field, I have not lost in life. But those that did beat me only taught me a lesson, how not to lose again. And when they see me again, I'm coming to win. The mindset of a winner begins by dressing yourself in that morning. When the alarm goes off, get up. Don't sit there, don't snooze, don't waste a moment, because there's competition coming, and you should be ready.
It's all in your mind. Whatever you hold in your mind will tend to occur in your life. If you continue to believe as you have always believed, you will continue to act as you have always acted. You will continue to get what you have always gotten. If you want different results in your life or your work, all you have to do is change your mind.
Wisdom comes from experience. And experience takes time. The more experience you have, and the more you learn from that experience, the wiser you can get. A pine tree grows and matures very fast. An oak tree grows and matures very, very slow. Which one lasts longer? And which one is stronger? Which one shelters more critters and more birds? Which one, when it's done and over and it's cut down, which one is more valuable for the lumber?
We're all looking for this golden purpose. Is it this? Is it that? Is it making money? Is it my family? Motherfucker, the purpose is you. Every fucking day I wake up and I don't want to do some fucking shit. I'm like, okay, man, do you want to be a bitch today? Do you want to walk around all day knowing that you could, but you didn't? You have to learn how to get up and do shit when you ain't got no fucking 5K, no 10K, nothing. Nothing exists. Your life fucking sucks. You're in the fucking dungeon. But guess what, motherfucker? I'm still going to get it.
First of all, don't aim at being happy, because that's just not gonna work, especially when the storms come and barbarians are beating at the gate. You can just forget about that. And there's going to be times in your life where you're suffering so much you can't believe it. And so you're going to need something a hell of a lot more robust than happiness to get you through that. And then you might say, well, what's more robust than happiness? Or maybe even what's more robust than pain? How about adventure? How about we go out and sail the uncharted seas, you know?
But our life situation predominantly is our fault. It's our fault.
when you get knocked down and you get broken open, that's when you really get to know your true self. Suffering is awesome. You know, you get knocked down and split in half, you walk out in the world. If you choose, you have a choice. You can contract and become bitter and never open up again, like most people, or you can actually use the tragedy or suffering or whatever you've gone through to allow it to purify you. Tragedy and pain is life's greatest purifier.
Holding the line, maintaining the standard, giving no slack, none. That's the discipline.
What's God? God is that which calls you to make the appropriate sacrifices and calls you on it when you don't. And try to escape that and see what happens. We know perfectly well, that that's a pathway to hell. And you might say, I don't believe in hell, and I would say, that means you don't know anything. Do you abide by that or not? Well, you do if you're wise, and you do if you care about the people around you.
You gotta be willing to do the work. You can speak about it all day. The easiest thing in the world to do is to complain, blame, and quit and settle. That's the easiest thing in the world to do. But it takes real work to deconstruct and to reconstruct the thought process and the mindset of an individual when they're trying to change something. That's why I always say to people, what's more important? What we acquire or who we become? Right? What's more important, what we acquire or who we become? Materialistic, superficial, it's cool. But the people that we become, the thoughts we think, the words we speak, that's something that's going to travel with us forever.
Are you a leader? Are you ready to become one? Are you willing to step up to the plate and become that person that everyone can follow into battle and trust that you won't run, you won't turn your back, you won't hide when the rocks get thrown, but you will step in front of everyone else to protect them because you don't sit on the throne.
Let the process do what the process does. The process is there for a reason. The process is there to strengthen you and build you. The process teaches you things along the journey that no skipping steps could have taught you, that no faking it till you make it could have taught you, that no overnight success could have taught you. The journey isn't always beautiful, but the journey is always purposeful. So start telling yourself, this is a part of the process.
We are absolutely divine, magnificent expressions of life, all of us. Where each face is another unique expression of God. And we're not supposed to be alike. Since time began on this planet, there have not been two snowflakes alike. There's certainly not been two people alike. And we're always trying to be like everybody else so we're acceptable. Our uniqueness is what makes us wonderful.
What you most want to be found will be found where you least want to look, essentially. And it's so interesting because it means that if you're willing to turn around and to stand up, stand up straight and face the darkness like fully, what you discover at the darkest part is the brightest light. And then that's something that's so much worth discovering because there's going to be terrible darkness in your life. And it's going to make you cynical and bitter. And it could easily be that you're just not looking at it enough. Because if you looked at it enough and you didn't shy away and you brought everything you had to bear on it, you'd find that there was more to you than there was to the horror.
I don't know what your future is, but if you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it. Whatever you choose for a career path, remember the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose.
Where do the strong go when they feel weak? Who do you turn to when you've been carrying the weight of the family and everyone's always turned to you? When the dominoes of life are all falling towards you and you have to be the one to be the resistance. You're the link in the chain of the family that can't break. The human body, the human mind, the human soul has limits.
Short-term thinking says the donut tastes good, eat it. Short-term thinking says one workout doesn't matter, I can skip it. Short-term thinking encourages you to make short-term emotional decisions that hurt you in the long run. Think strategic, think long-term, act strategic. Take action that improves your long-term position and moves you toward your long-term goals.
Operate out of your imagination, not your memory. Because whatever you look at where you want to go, I'm wanting to warn you, you will have some conversation back here after you go through the data that you've experienced in life saying you can't do it. And so what you want to begin to do is ignore that inner conversation.
You need to win battles in order to win the war. You need to get out of bed, you need to run, you need to work out, you need to read and study and practice, and you need to do things that you don't necessarily want to do. And then you need to get up, get out of your damn bed, get off your phone, get out of the soft and addictive comfort zone, and you need to go out there into the world and get after it.
Your perspective can either be your prison or it can be your power. That choice is always up to you. How you see life is on you. And it starts right here. Your biggest battle is not with them, whoever them is. It's not external. Your biggest battle is with you inside yourself, right between here. Because how you think about life is how you see life. How you see life is how you feel about life. How you feel about life is what you do in life. And what you do in life is what you get from life. It starts right here.
The fact that you're full of faults doesn't mean you have to stop. And thank God for that. That's a really useful thing. And the fact that you're full of faults doesn't mean that you can't learn. And so you can posit an ideal, and it doesn't matter that it's imperfect. It just matters that you do it and that you move forward.
Beginning to embrace that. It's possible. I'm blessed and highly favored. I've got a lot going for me. I got some good stuff in me. And it's possible that I can bring my greatness out here in the universe. That I can do what I want to do. It's possible I can write my own book. I can have my own business. I can take the trip and travel around the world. It's possible. I can bounce back from adversity and reinvent my life. It's possible. Regardless of where I am, that things can get better for me.
Set yourself up on your crutches and you struggle up the bloody hill. That's what you do. And you struggle up the hill towards the kingdom of God. That's what you do. Because the alternative is to descend into the abyss. That's the alternative, not happiness. Forget about that. If it comes, well, great, accept it.
Every thought we think and every word we speak is creating our future. It's as though our thoughts go out into the universe and are accepted and brought back to us as experience. Now that is a very simple thing that most people don't get it. They don't understand it. They've never heard it before and they think it's ridiculous. But if you can really accept the fact that every time you think a thought and every time you speak a word, you are literally painting your future, making your dinner, whatever you want to call it. You are creating, and you're creating your own life.
Now, how do you hang in there during the hard, difficult times, Les? You must have faith. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your abilities. You've got to believe in your service, your company, your ideas, unquestionably. You've got to have faith, and that faith gives you patience. That it's not going to happen as quickly as you want it to happen. A lot of things are going to happen that will catch you off guard. And so therefore you've got to deal with and handle it as it comes. And not only that, but that faith and patience drives you into action. You've got to keep moving and keep plugging away.
But there's a time when the pride has to come to the support and have the back of the lion. The lion can't always fight everything off by himself. He can't hunt by himself and fight by himself. And that's why it's important that who do you have in your circle? Where's your pride? Where's your tribe? Where's the vibe of who has your back? Because if they support you, when the time comes for you to return to that role and be that lion in the field, you can climb that hill and hold everyone safe. Like you always have. Because they protected you when you needed it. They gave you time to recover. You don't always have to be strong, but you always have to surround yourself with the right strength. To be a star, you must shine your own light. You must follow your own path. You can't worry about the darkness, for it's then that the stars will shine the brightest. You will go through dark times, you will go through dark moments, you will go through frustration. But it is then that you are on your way. Just don't quit in the middle of the darkness, because this valley of death that is there, you can't feel the evil, because all it has is sounds and noise. Throw in your headset, throw in the thing that allows you to get into your zone.
Once something's important to you, it never leaves your mind. If you always dreamt about being a singer-songwriter and you never did it, you will be haunted by that at the age of 70, because it's still right here, stored in the back of your mind. It's something that's meant for you, that's trying to call to you. You see, your dreams, you either pursue them or they fucking haunt you.
I want you to be wealthy and rich so you can take care of your family, give back to your community, hopefully. But my question to you, if you want to be wealthy and rich, how much would you be worth if you lost the money? Like if you became wealthy and you got it and you came into it, but one day you lost it, then how much would you be worth? And I say that to say, how much would your last name be worth? Every day I wake up, I think about, what if this was the last day of my life on this earth? How would I want somebody to report to my son, my daughter, or my wife on my behalf if I leave this world and I'm not in their presence? How much would your last name be worth? Meaning, can your seeds and the people that you reproduce come into this world, can somebody go up to them and say, oh, that was your father? You good. Because of what your father once stood for.
Faith to act on whatever your dream is. When you decide I'm going to do it no matter what, life changes for you. See, most people don't keep their commitments to their commitments. That's why they lead lives of poverty.
darkness. The sun doesn't shine every day. The storms will come. There are times when the nights will be long and dark and you will be alone. There will be times when the darkness seems to consume everything. But don't let it consume you. Don't let it consume you.
It's the mindset. There are those of you in this room, you don't need another book. There are those of you in this room, you don't need another course. There are those of you in this room, you don't need to do anything else. You are enough as you are. You just don't believe in yourself in the way you're supposed to believe in yourself, and it comes out when you're talking to other people.
Even in the darkest times, even in the strongest storms, even when the sun is blotted out and the world is falling apart, the darkness cannot extinguish your light.
You see, when you step on the court, when you step on the field, when you step in the boardroom, you have to take with you the idea that self-promotion is a right thing. You've been told all your life, be quiet, be humble. But this is not about humility. This is about making sure that the one thing given to you by God that is just yours, your gifts, your time, your talents, your abilities, that thing you need a bullhorn with and say, world, I am here because there is someone on the other side of the earth that needs what's in your hands. But they can't get it if you're silent, if you're whispering, if you're afraid to say it. Because you don't want them to think that you're egotistical.
Socrates said the uncommitted life isn't worth living. So part of what you must do, whatever commitment, whatever covenant you make with God while you're here, to go back to be a better father, to go back to make a difference in the community, to go back to change your life, to decide not to ever to use drugs or alcohol again, to decide that you're going to begin to recreate yourself, that you're going to be reborn to a new state of consciousness. Whatever commitment that you make, keep your commitment to your commitment, no matter what.
You, your will, your determination, no matter what is happening, no matter how hard the fight is, as long as you keep fighting, you win. Only surrender is defeat. Only quitting is the end.
If they knew what you went through to become you, they would celebrate the fact that you even walked in the room. Because by all honest accounts, you shouldn't be here. When you look and see the door open, I'm coming through with every one of my dreams and aspirations, and I will not be denied. I'm coming.
We don't retreat. We don't run. Every man must search his own soul. Like you don't judge a person by where they stand in times of comfort and convenience. You judge them by where they stand in times of challenge and controversy. And if you ain't work, like when you work for something, it gives you a different type of attachment to it. The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. That's why cats can give up so easy. They ain't got nothing invested. They ain't worked for it. They ain't sacrificed for it. Every time it get tough, they go blow weed. They ain't working for it, right? They ain't got nothing sacrificed into it. But when a cat work for something, like when a cat been sacrificed for something, well, you gonna have a cold day in hell before you take it from them.
Do not let the darkness win. Fight. Fight on. To fight against the darkness is to win. So fight on.
If you push people and ask them what they want, they're going to tell you that they want to be happy. But nobody really talks that next step, which is what is the fundamental building block to happiness? Like, what is that keystone piece the one without which everything falls apart. And I really believe, and I believe this through experience myself and seeing other people, that that keystone brick to happiness is progress.
In our evolutionary psychology, we have this fear, I'll die if you don't like me. And we try to get over it by buying stuff or trying to impress people. And what you should do is impress upon your mind, look, I know you think I'm going to die from rejection. I'm not. Actually, it's going to make me stronger. And if you can dialogue with yourself and go, I feel a bit sad, it's not going to kill me, then it does make you stronger.
Take a bit of a look at yourself and think about what's not so good that you could improve, that you should improve by your own standards, and that you would improve. There's things you could do to improve, and you know what they are. And there's small steps that you could take, that you might take, that would put you in that direction. And then the question is, are you big enough to take those small steps? You know, an answer to that is, yeah, you are. Most people have things they avoid, you know, and they're afraid of. So I would say to some degree, it's the lot of everyone.
Your life is a physical manifestation of the conversation going on in your head. Your life is a physical manifestation of the conversation going on in your head. So if you said nothing but thought everything, your life is going to show up to make your thoughts true. So you have one job. You have one job in your life for you, to make what you think about life true, so that you're not wrong. You don't want to walk around wrong, 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 wrong. You want to be right about the life you see. So you're going to work hard to produce the life that you talk about in your mind.
Our standards are a reflection of the actions that we take or fail to take. And a lot of times, the actions that we take that, you know, move our life forward are a result of us feeling good enough to do that. And we're not always going to feel great, but honestly, like, in order to get yourself up and get yourself moving, like, you're not just going to get up and you can feel good, man. You have to take action. It's a process through your physical fitness, through your mental fitness, through your contribution.
If you want to be successful, and it really doesn't matter how you define success, it really doesn't matter what the specific manifestations of success are for you. If you want to be successful, it all starts with a growth mindset. Right now, in this moment, if you do one thing, it will change every aspect of the rest of your life. And that is to adopt a growth mindset.
Doesn't matter how talented you are, if you don't have self-belief, you're not going to get anywhere. If you have extraordinary self-belief, very little talent, you can get everywhere. But if you have both, if you have talent and belief, it will actually make you unstoppable.
They say, if at first you fail, then try again. Persistence is helpful because it enables you to run many, many experiments. And you need to know that the baseline is failure. You know, it's important because otherwise you'll blame that on yourself.
When you speak your future into the world. Whatever falls off your tongue, when you say I am, unconscious mind says, and you are so. Whatever comes on the other side of that.
That all of us in life have things we want. We don't get what we want. We get what we have to have. Remember I said earlier, we all get what we tolerate in ourselves and other people. But when you're no longer willing to tolerate something, that's when your life changes.
And we can thrive under the difficult conditions that make up our lives, and we can resist the malevolence that entices us. That's within our power.
Asking the right questions is so fundamental and so powerful. I encourage you guys all to really think about the questions that you ask yourself, because it will determine everything about your life. Your life is determined by the quality of your questions.
Everyone's good at something. You know, you're not meant to be good at everything. It's no good being a jack of all trades and a master of none. So Be really good at what you're good at, and don't worry about what you're not good at, because we're not all supposed to be good at the same thing.
And then you challenge yourself. It's like, well, could I do this? That would be better. And you find out, and then you think, well, is there something slightly larger and more challenging that I could do that would be better? And you try it and you find out. And as you try it and you find out, generally you get better at it and you can take on larger and larger challenges.
You get what you focus on. You get what you focus on. If you focus on fear, dread, incompetence, possible danger, possible failure, then that's where your mind is. Your mind is totally consumed by those thoughts. But if, on the other hand, you think about possibility, what can be, how good you can get, the amazing things that could happen, then that's what your mind is consumed by.
The difference in people is their standards, period. The difference in people is their standards, period. And what do I mean by standards? Everyone in the world has a list of things they think they should do. I should work out, I should work harder, and then you know what? People don't do their shoulds and they get mad at themselves. What changes people is when your should becomes a must.
The person you can control. People are not who you want them to be. Kill your idols. Sure, there are things we can learn from people, but people aren't going to be what you think they are, what they should be. Because you can't control other people. You can't make them what you want them to be. You can't make them who you want them to be. The only person you can control is you. So focus on making yourself who you want to be.
You guys need to understand what you don't have to do. All right? You don't have to work hard, you don't have to eat right, you don't have to sleep right. You don't have to do more than what's required of you. You don't have to be a good teammate. You don't have to be a good leader. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. But you also don't have to win. You don't have to be a success in life. So the greatest things in life take sacrifice and discipline. And that's why so few people achieve great things. Because they don't want to sacrifice, they don't want to discipline for something greater. So you see all these people that have great things in life that you look up to, it's because they were sacrificed and disciplined long before you ever knew them. That's the truth. So don't get mad later when you created your whole storm and then it starts raining on you.
Surround yourself with dreamers and doers, the believers and thinkers. But most of all, surround yourself with those who see the greatness within people when they don't see it in themselves.
Nothing in life is promised except death. If you had the opportunity to play this game of life, you need to appreciate every moment. A lot of people don't appreciate their moment until it's past.
Faster, stronger, smarter, more humble, less ego. Discipline your body. Free your mind. Get up early and go. Get after it, and you will become the person you want to be. And you become that person through one small decision at a time.
If the game or break go against you, don't let up, put on more steam. If the game or break goes against you, don't let up, put on more steam. In life, with your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, the things that you seek to do, the things that you aspire to do, the things that you want to accomplish. Never forget, first and foremost, how brilliant you are. Never forget the people that played a part in you getting in this position. Never forget what you're made out of. But on the road to success, on the road to accomplishment, on the road to evolving and development. If the game of break goes against you in life, the only favor I ask of you, because in life, people don't burn out, people don't quit, and people don't underachieve because of what they do. People burn out, people quit, and people underachieve because life makes them forget why they do it. And so the only favor I ask of you, if the game of break of life go against you, don't let up. Put on more steam.
When you are struggling and you start thinking about giving up, I want you to remember, and that is the power of hope. The belief that something better is always possible if you're willing to work for it and fight for it. It is our fundamental belief in the power of hope that has allowed us to rise above the voices of doubt and division, of anger and fear that we have faced in our own lives. Our hope that if we work hard enough and believe in ourselves, then we can be whatever we dream, regardless of the limitations that others may place on us. The hope that when people see us for who we truly are, maybe, just maybe, they too will be inspired to rise to their best possible selves.
Your life is before you. You fill these pages with your hopes, with your passion, with your dreams. You write. You write the greatest story ever told.
You cannot run your demons. They'll always find you. Only way to beat them is look at them eye to eye and make them your mindset's the only thing that gets you through hard times.
When you make the decision to do what you want to do with your life, just know this: because the family and the friends in your life do not share your vision. But know this: only those that can see the invisible can do the impossible.
When it all boils down to what it is, mano y mano. And if you ain't got more heart than me, if you ain't been working harder than me, if you ain't sacrificed more than me, I'm gonna destroy you. And I'm not retreating. I'm not running. I don't care what they say on paper. We live by this and we die by this. We don't retreat. We don't run. Every man must search his own soul. You don't judge a person by where they stand in times of comfort and convenience. You judge them by where they stand in times of challenge and controversy. And if you ain't work, like when you work for something, it gives you a different type of attachment to it. The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. That's why cats can give up so easy. They ain't got nothing invested. Like when a cat been sacrificed for something, well, you gonna have a cold day in hell before you take it from him.
You can't mark a date and believe that that day you can turn it on. It's not about the date. It's about the commitment to yourself. It's about dating your purpose. It's about marrying yourself to your goals. It's about realizing that there is no one coming to save you but you. You have to be willing to put in the work. You must be willing to walk into success. You must be able to run past doubt. You must be able to go through the barbed wire of self-doubt and deprecating words that you have placed over yourself and tried to play it off like it was a joke, when in reality, you truly believe that you don't deserve things. It's time now for you to speak life over yourself.
Losing. Most of you here losing, and it makes you cringe, it makes you afraid. You fear being embarrassed, you fear being judged, you fear looking like an idiot in front of a bunch of people that won't matter to you in 5 years. But here's the thing: being willing to fail, being willing to lose, will create such a competitive advantage for you because most people can't do it. Most people can't be seen falling on their face. So our options are to stay the same or to actually be willing to fail.
This is your time. You have greatness in you. And everything that happens to you, I've come to know. Some things happen to you. Some things happen for you.
And that is what I do. And that is what you can do too. If you have something to change, if you want to change something, change it. Change it now.
People who are serious are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. People that are serious don't spend time feeling sorry for themselves or talking about what happened. They are too busy creating a new life for themselves.
Go after your dreams, right? Go after it. I never compromised that. I never allowed anybody to tell me what I was capable of accomplishing. I never let anybody tell me that I can't do, right? I went after it. If you want to accomplish something or do something that a lot of people think is difficult to accomplish, you have to put all your eggs in one basket. There's no compromise.
It's time for you to believe that there is greatness on the inside and that you were born to be someone, and that everyone that sees you sees a reflection of a work in progress, but the progress is coming because you're putting in the work. Stop looking over your shoulder wondering if someone's coming back or if someone's going to pass me. There is absolutely no one that can take opportunities that were made and handcrafted by God for you.
All you have to do is be obedient. All you have to do is weather the storm. All you have to do is keep going. All you have to do is keep progressing. All you have to do is keep pursuing. And no matter what comes against you, it will end up working for your good. But I want to tell you that these things that are coming against you will work for you. These things that are trying to intend harm and bad in your life will work out for your good.
So I say, take ownership. Take extreme ownership. Don't make excuses. Don't blame any other person or any other thing. Get control of your ego. Don't hide your delicate pride from the truth. Take ownership of everything in your world, the good and the bad. Take ownership of your mistakes, take ownership of your shortfalls, take ownership of your problems, and then take ownership of the solutions that will get those problems solved.
See, we don't have the courage, and that's what it takes, courage. It takes guts to do that which you know you need to do. If you don't have the courage to act, life many times will move on you and make you act. You will be so miserable, you will catch so much hell, you say, yes, I will do it. What do you want me to do? Take me. A real man in the dark, when nobody's watching, he putting in work. A real man, when coach ain't even watching, he's studying film on his own, because he loves the process. If you will be a champion, if you will be a beast, you're gonna have to go through something. Ain't nobody gonna hand you nothing. Ain't nobody gonna hand you no championship. Ain't nobody gonna hand you no title.
But you have to keep going. You have to keep pushing. You have to allow adversity to grow you, to change you, to strengthen you, not to break you. Not to break you. I've seen so many of us give permission to those that didn't create us, and we allow them to control us.
Take ownership of your job, of your team, of your future, and take ownership of your life. And lead. Lead yourself and your team and the people in your life. Lead them all to victory.
The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred with dust, blood, sweat, and tears. Not to those cold and timid souls in the stands who know neither victory nor defeat.
The absence of purpose, we will start digging holes in our life. Any vice will lead to self-destruction, holes in your life. And so people who think like, no, I'm a human being. I'm like, no, bro, you're a human animal. You're a human animal until you get to a point of self-awareness and consciousness where literally these eyes, it's just a window that you're experiencing life through, and you can respond and not react.
The majority says if you go through heartbreak, if you're on your knees because your life is falling apart, rush out as quickly as possible. What I've discovered is stay in as long as possible, because difficulty is growth in wolf's clothing. The greatest people on the planet have suffered the most. Suffering is not bad. I'm suggesting suffering is awesome. The ego runs from suffering because it's the death of the ego. But I believe pain, difficult times, failure, loss is purification and preparation for personal heroism.
We're trying so hard in our lives to fit in, yet the people we idolize most are the ones that stand out.
How do you stop making excuses? You have to accept that all your excuses are lies. They are lies, all of them. Think about the things that you tell yourself, the lies you use to rationalize taking the easy road, leaving discipline behind. You don't have time. That's a lie. You're too busy. Sure you are. That's a lot. But the truth is, you have time. You have the skill, you have the knowledge and the support and the willpower and the discipline to get it done. Cast out the lies, burn them down, and listen to the truth. Then live the truth and go out and get it done.
You gotta get real doggish. You gotta get downright funky if you wanna make it. Now, like I was telling you before, if you wanna be ordinary, you ain't even gotta listen to me. Just go on about your business.
Every challenge that you are facing, it belongs to your journey. It is part of your journey. And to acknowledge, to accept whatever life is throwing at you, and still have on the mind that this is like just a test. This is how I used to think for myself. Yeah, I never begged for an easy life. But when challenges are coming right now, and especially when you then realize if you want, you can overcome them.
See, the point is, you don't know how much future you've got. What's gone is gone. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Some of you have had divorces. Some of you have probably had bankruptcies. Some of you have had terrible things happen in the past. But what's gone is gone. It's in the past. And to spend your time focusing on the past is to spend the only thing that you've got, and that's what's right here, right now, because the sand never stops running. This is all we've got. And to spend your time now thinking of what happened there is making absolute certain that the future is going to be the same as the past.
The bigger issue with fine is that you say it to yourself. That thing that you want, I guarantee you, you've convinced yourself that you're fine not having it. That's why you're not pushing yourself. It's the areas in your life where you've given up, where you've said, oh, I'm fine.
There are some things in life that are out of your control that you can't change and you gotta live with. The choice that we have though is either to give up or keep on going. I wanna ask you, what are you gonna believe? Are you gonna believe in yourself? Are you gonna believe everybody else's judgment on you? Are you gonna believe people when they say that you're a failure?
If you think ordinary's cool, ain't no problem. It's some really, really wonderful ordinary people. But if you are sitting in this room and you have extraordinary aspirations, then you're gonna have to do extra.
1 plus 1 is always gonna equal 2. 2 plus 2 is gonna equal 4. And 10 years of motherfucking work when everybody else is partying, making excuses, doing the cool thing on the weekend is gonna pay off.
So I always ask people and challenge people, like when you say something to the extent of, not you, but just a person, I'll get to it tomorrow. I'm like, who promised you that? Right? I'll get to it a month from now. I'm like, who promised you that? Right? Because life changes so quick, right? And as people, we're often arrogant. I was one of them. We live our lives and we feel as if we're promised something, right? But when you think about it, it's like when we try to control things. But when you really think about the macro of life and the grand scheme of life, we really don't have any control. But just life in general, we have no control of that.
You're not afraid of having your body. You're afraid of fucking effort. See, what you don't understand is this. We're all being tested. And that road to success is a bumpy ass fucking road. Has fucking potholes, nails, detours and shit. A lot of you are gonna die with a nicely preserved body. No bruises, no scars. You also have an empty fucking resume. Stay hard.
With that motivation, go forward into the heat of the battle where victory is forged.
Every night when we go to sleep, right before bed, most of us set our alarm for the next morning. In other words, we're making a promise to ourselves that I'm gonna wake up at a certain time. I don't hit the snooze button. I believe that one action helps me build a greater amount of confidence and reputation with myself, because immediately I kept the promise to myself, and now I stacked a W, a win instead of an L.
He said, I want what all other men want. He said, I guarantee you, when I line up and they line up, I want what all other men want. You want what all other men want. The same way you want the victory, they want the victory. I want what all other men want. He said, but when the pressure hits, when the opposition hits, when the challenge hits, when the pain creeps in, when the uncertainty creeps in, when the cuts, when the scars, when the bruises come, I want what all other men want. He said, but when the opposition and adversity shows up, I just want it a little bit more than they wanted. And so that's how I conquer, and that's how nobody has ever beaten me yet.
Five easy steps, 10 steps to greatness, 8 steps to this. And those steps for success, they're infinite. They are infinite. You cannot count them. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it, those steps are constantly shifting. You don't know if they're there. Sometimes you have to trust that the next step is going to be there when you can't even see it. And sometimes when you step on that step, you go right into quicksand. But you got to be able to pull yourself back out of it again. So everybody's looking for these steps, and there are no steps. Those steps never end. And you just can't climb steps.
Once you stop giving it, once you stop showing up for them, once you decide not to be used no more, once you decide to choose you, you're gonna see how they really feel about you. You're gonna see who really loves you for you, because most people, once you choose you, their love disappears. Some of you at a job that only loves you for what you bring to the job. As soon as you ask for a raise, as soon as you ask for a day off, you're replaced. And the thing that I want to tell you, this is so many of us, we hide our true selves from the world because we're so afraid to be judged. We're so afraid that people will walk out of their life. We're so afraid to lose this and lose that. I'm going to tell you something. I want you to hear me clear. When you don't be who you are, when you don't truly be yourself and who you are, you know what happens in your life? You attract the wrong things in your life.
To motivate actually means to provide a motive, a reason why. So to motivate someone is to explain to them why they're doing what they're doing, how it will help them, where it'll take them, why they should continue to work and to struggle and to fight. And when you need motivation yourself, don't look for someone to scream and yell. Don't look for someone else to give you motivation. Look at yourself. Look at yourself and remind yourself why you are doing what you are doing.
I'm here to challenge you. If you have this take it easy mentality, can you consider being a little harder on yourself? Can you stop letting yourself off the hook? I know it's easy to let yourself off the hook, to make an excuse. Your winning routine has a pattern. Each time you repeat that pattern, it becomes a discipline. And if you break that discipline, you're more likely to lose. So I'm asking you, what if you tossed and turned all night, but you still got up anyway? What if you didn't sleep well, but you still got up anyway? What if you were harder on yourself? What if you set higher expectations for yourself? What if you raised the standards for yourself? And then what if you could stop surrounding yourself with people who subscribe to the take it easy mentality?
Mano a mano. And if you ain't got more heart than me, if you ain't been working harder than me, if you ain't sacrificed more than me, I'm gonna destroy you. And I'm not retreating. I'm not running. I don't care what they say on paper. I don't care if you say we outnumbered. We live by this and we die by this. We don't retreat. We don't run. Every man must search his own soul. Like, you don't judge a person by where they stand in times of comfort and convenience. You judge them by where they stand in times of challenge and controversy. And if you ain't work, like when you work for something, it gives you a different type of attachment to it. The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. That's why cats can give up so easy. They ain't got nothing invested. They ain't worked for it. They ain't sacrificed for it. Every time it get tough, they go blow weed. They ain't working for it, right? They ain't got nothing sacrificed into it. But when a cat work for something, like when a cat been sacrificed for something, well, you're gonna have a cold day in hell before you take it from them.
Like, we all know what the right thing is, but it's easy to adopt the take it easy mindset and then succumb to balance. But there's no one that I know that takes it easy or has balance and lives a lifestyle of freedom. There just simply isn't. Everyone that I know sets themselves up for higher expectations.
dark side is something that's in everybody, but it's a situation that you have to control the dark side. If it controls you, that's when things start to go real bad. That's when you have a tendency to go to what I call the other side. But if you harness the fuel that's from that dark side, whether it's anger, whether it's fear, and turn that into positive fuel, it'll help you really succeed at whatever you're trying to do.
Never forget the people that played a part in you getting in this position. Never forget what you're made out of. But on the road to success, on the road to accomplishment, on the road to evolving and development, if the game of break goes against you in life, the only favor I ask of you, because in life, people don't burn out, people don't quit, and people don't underachieve because of what they do. People burn out, people quit, and people underachieve because life makes them forget why they do it. And so the only favor I ask of you, if the game or break of life go against you, don't let up. Put on more steam.
The sun doesn't shine every day. The storms will come. There are times when the nights will be long and dark and you will be alone. There will be times when the darkness seems to consume everything. But don't let it consume you. Don't let it consume you.
Suffering is a byproduct of the unknown. And that's why we will project out into the future and go, what if? Because suffering does introduce a man, or discomfort does introduce a man or a woman to their highest self. I call it the other room. Like in your head, in everybody's head, like there's this other place that you can go to. You may have been there before. And this other room, this other place, you get to meet your other self.
The comfort zone is dangerous. When you're comfortable, you are at most dangerous. You should never feel comfortable. You should be happy and dissatisfied. You should never be satisfied with what you got. Because the attempt to get more makes you into something better all the time.
Lazy people do a little work and think they should be winning, but winners work as hard as possible and still worry if they're being lazy.
Passion. Passion is that fire that you hold in your heart that will make you find a cause to pour your life into. Passion is the thing that made you get up this morning and say, I'm going to run, I'm going to lift, I'm going to go after my goals. Passion is the most powerful motivator that you can have. It's something that must be given to you by God, and you must sharpen its tool and put it to work. When it comes to passion, you have to realize that it will increase your willpower. It is the thing that is like weights. You start off at one level. The more that you work on, the more you pour into it, the stronger, the more powerful you will become.
That's when human beings change. It's like if you want to take the island and you're the head of the army and you want to take the island, the most powerful way to take the island is burn the boats. Because if there's no way to go back, it's amazing what happens when it's a must to do something versus a should.
Even in the darkest times, even in the strongest storms, even when the sun is blotted out and the world is falling apart, the darkness cannot extinguish your light. You, your will, your determination. No matter what is happening, no matter how hard the fight is, as long as you keep fighting, you win. Only surrender is defeat. Only quitting is the end. Because the darkness only wins if you've let it. Do not let the darkness win. Fight. Fight on. To fight against the darkness is to win. So fight on.
intentions are overrated. I know so many people, well, I'm going to do that. Yes, I think that's a good idea. I think I'm going to do that. So good intentions are the most overrated phrase in the world. You've got to go from good intentions to good actions. Nothing happens until you've got good actions.
You're not all you could be, and there's pain in that. And there's the necessity for a certain amount of judgment about that, and even a certain amount of exclusion, because what you are that is insufficient in some sense should not be allowed to propagate further. But, you know, here's some things about you that are virtuous and good, and they're pretty powerful actually, and if you just made those more manifest, you could dispense with a lot of this immaturity and misery, and you could start walking this pathway that makes things better. And the thing is that as soon as you start walking the pathway that makes things better, then things immediately become better, because your whole orientation changes. And you know, if you're in a bad place but you're escaping, that's pretty positive.
So find 5 reasons that empower you. Why is it that you deserve your goal? What are the 5 reasons that you won't give up when life catches you on the blind side? When the messenger of misery visits you, what are you going to do? What will keep you in the game when life knocks you to the canvas?
You still have to play the hand that you're given. If you didn't have a father in your life, you got to play your hand. If you didn't have your father in your life, if you did have your father, you got to play your hand. If your family gave you absolutely nothing, you got to steward that. If your family gave you everything, you have to steward that.
We have 2 primary choices in life. We can either accept conditions as they exist, or we can take the responsibility to change them. See, a lot of people want to exempt themselves from taking responsibility. All they want to do is talk about the problem. Every time you see them, they'll tell you their story over and over and over and over again. No. You want to take responsibility for your life. I got me here, I can get me out of this. And I'm getting out. I'm not going to be a volunteer victim.
You need to make it a habit to start every fucking day validating yourself. Because life is a marathon, and this might be a challenging leg where you're like, I'm just going to throw in the towel. I'm not going to do that thing. Hell no. If you're standing in front of that mirror, you deserve to feel the support and empowerment and encouragement that you need. You are doing so much every single day that you don't give yourself credit for.
You got to learn to let the past go so you can grow. Many people never act on their dreams because they allow their past experiences to determine what their possibilities are. Whatever you've done in the past, that's not a reflection of your possibilities. That's just a reflection of your consciousness. The future is unfolding for you right now.
People want to know how to stop laziness. They want to know how to stop procrastination. They have an idea in their head, maybe even a vision, but they don't know where to start. So they ask and they say, where do I start? When is the best time to start? And I have a simple answer. Here and now. That's it. Where do you start? You start right here.
There are times where you need a reset. Bad things happen to good people. You really want to overcome something? You really want to become something? You're going to have to make some changes, and the biggest change that you can make is in your mindset.
So because life is short, I don't have time to focus on what's not. I've got to focus on what is, then get up and go get it. So I need you to understand where you are. So we're not looking for perfect, but we are looking for opportunity, and we have it. So it's like, yo, say it
because I need you to understand what you have, and then I need you to appreciate what you have, and then I need you to go after everything that's got your name on it with no excuses. So it's like, yo, we have opportunity. Whatever you do, don't waste it. Don't cry about it. Get up and go make it happen.
Nelson Mandela has this quote, "In life I don't lose, I only win or learn." I realize like so many people think like they've lost, but like if you just pull one piece of information that's good, whether it's a different perspective, extracting knowledge, a different way to go about life, a different way to not fall on your face, like that's winning. Like they have everything inside of them to do whatever they need to do. You know, over the 23 years of my life, I've realized that it's not this physical body. Have you seen your mindset? Like, have you seen the way you operate? Like, have you seen the way that you react to situations, that you're pissed off in traffic, that you think the world is happening to you? Like, and to let people know that like the biggest and baddest people are handicapped and crippled by the limiting beliefs, the things that they tell themselves. And that's why I say the biggest disability is a bad mindset. It's not this body.
I walked a mile. I said, maybe I can walk one more mile. Maybe I can walk another mile. When your mind knows it's not going to quit, and this is what I found out, this is my 40% rule. When your mind knows it's not going to quit, your body will adapt to whatever is in front of it. And that one day changed, that 19 hours. It wasn't SEAL training, it wasn't Ranger School, it wasn't Delta Force, it wasn't any of that crap I went through. It was this 19 hours and 6 minutes that forever changed my life to know that we as human beings are capable of anything. And we don't need any special kind of parents or tools to get there. So I end you with this. Don't stop when you're tired, stop when you're done.
If you could change the way you wake up in the morning, stop saying, I got to go to work. I got to work out. I gotta get this weight off of me. I gotta go and meet with the people at the school. I gotta deal with my coworkers. Change one word in that sentence and everything about your life changes. I get to wake up in the morning. When you say I got to, you take all of your opportunities and all of your blessings and you wrap them up in stress by saying I got to. You take all the stress off of it when you say I get to.
You initiate action. You go. Here is the reality. That idea isn't going to execute itself. That book isn't going to write itself. Those weights out in the gym, they aren't going to move themselves. You have to do it.
You'll get knocked down, but you won't be knocked out. You'll be able to get to your feet again, be on the ropes, but you'll have a fast recovery rate when you work on yourself. Reinterpreting our past, understanding and knowing that we can move from where we are, that we can begin to design the kind of life that empowers us, that gives us happiness, that enables us to be on top of who we are.
Quitting is the easiest thing that you can do in life. Because it doesn't take character, it doesn't take anything to quit. It takes a willingness to walk away. And the more you begin to quit, the more it begins to define your life. That's not for you. The defining thing or the defining moment of your life is when you decide to quit quitting. To never give up, to never give in. To never again allow yourself to feel so overwhelmed that quitting is your best option. You have to decide that I would rather fight than flight.
So stop thinking about it. Stop dreaming about it. Stop researching every aspect of it and reading all about it and debating the pros and cons of it. Start doing it. Take that first step and make it happen. Get after it. Here. And now.
I began to build a reputation with myself, and within that I began to govern my life. I drew boundary lines around me so that those who would talk me into quitting must go. There is no room for negative people in your space, in your hemisphere, and in your atmosphere, not for the levels that you're going to go to. Remove them and improve you. And I promise, great things await you.